Hello, this is the ET240 Capstone Project by Abdul Bassett. I will be discussing the first project about Pasquotank County. Site Assessment. Pasquotank County is a 5-acre industrial site located near the Pasquotank River. The only major cities surrounding this county would be Elizabeth City, which is located in the northeastern part of North Carolina. Local ordinance regulations for Pasquotank County, which is a 5-acre industrial site. The max height of the build has to be no more than 250 feet. It must be a non-obstructive color, white, off-white, gray, and it can't be artificially lighted. It must have a site plan showing the planned location of all the wind turbines to be installed. Audible sound from a wind energy facility shall not exceed 55 decibels, as measured at any occupied building on the property of a non-participating landowner. Shadow flicker at any occupied building on a non-participating landowner's property caused by a large wind energy facility must not exceed 30 hours per year. Sound and/or shadow flicker provisions may be waived by a property owner so long as such waiver is in writing, signed by the property owner, and recorded in the Pasquotank County Register of Deeds office. Pasquotank County has an estimated average wind speed of 6 meters per second, which would translate to roughly 13 miles per hour. So now that we know what the estimated wind speed is, the calculated wind power density is between 200 and 250. From that, we can determine the wind power class is a 3 or 4. And of course, this would be at 10 meters or 33 feet. Since our property is a 5-acre industrial site, the county ordinance allows us to place a wind turbine at a max height of 250 feet. From this, we can easily insert two 100-foot towers, since it would still be following the local county ordinance. Now, talking about the technology. The turbine that we will be using would be the 2.0 Gamesa G80 model. This is not the biggest model that they offer. It is one of the smaller ones, but with this, it allows us to reach that max height of 250 if we ever need to in the future. They use state-of-the-art blade manufacturing technology. Now, what they do is pretty cool. They incorporate fiberglass reinforced materials, which would lead to the creation of light but rigid, strong blades. That would allow these optimized blade profiles to guarantee maximum production while lowering the noise. In addition, we want to have a lower rotor speed as it is also less noisy. Now we will discuss a little bit about the blades on the turbine itself. Fewer blades are better, of course, but you want to have enough so they are strong and don't become unbalanced in the wind. That is why a 3-bladed rotor would be the ideal number, in my opinion. In addition, 3-blade rotors deliver more energy and operate more smoothly compared to a 1 or 2-blade rotor. Resource availability. This tool, the Wind Prospector Map, is supplied by the National Renewable Energy Lab. The Wind Prospector Map is a great resource when trying to analyze the wind speed at a specific location. Now, the map over here on the slide is specifically focused on Pasquotank County. We also see the Pasquotank River. Now, if you look at the legend, it goes all the way down to Class 7, which would be dark blue. Class 6 would be Class 6 would be red. Uh, Class 5 would be purple, and Class 4 would be pink. Last but not least, Class 3 would be yellow. Now, we don't see any Class 7 or Class 6 surrounding the immediate location of Pasquotank County, but we do see that Class 3 and Class 4 is immediately around it. The wind class from the table earlier shown was determined to be a 3 or 4, and this beautiful map confirms just that. Economic and policy consideration. These commercial turbines cost nearly between $3 and $4 million. 3/4 of that cost will be in installation. Now, the beauty of these turbines is that they don't require any extra care, just the regular maintenance to make sure it runs properly and nothing's been damaged. In addition, there are no fuel or carbon costs. Like I said earlier, just the regular operations and maintenance, which make up the other quarter. Now, when you first look at the cost, it may seem extremely high, but we gotta take into consideration the average capacity factor of 24%. This turbine would produce nearly 4,400 megawatts an hour in a year. Now, of course, there will be stoppages for breakdowns and maintenance and who knows what. Uh, Consequently, no power plant operates and generates power 100% of the time. Now, as far as tax incentive goes, unfortunately, there are no tax incentives for the state of North Carolina regarding wind energy. North Carolina's Renewable Energy and Energy Efficiency Portfolio Standard, otherwise known as REPS, was established by Senate Bill 3 in August of 2007. This specific bill requires all investor-owned utilities in the state to supply 12.5% of 2020 retail electricity sales in North Carolina from eligible energy resources by 2021. Municipal utilities and electric cooperatives must meet a target of 10% renewables by 2018 and are subject to slightly different rules. In other words, this would force utilities to increase their generation of energy from renewable energy resources. There will be hefty fines if the standards are not met. In addition, wind energy does not create waste or water pollution. Unlike fossil fuel and nuclear power plants, wind energy uses very little water to produce electricity. Wind energy is key to preserving water resources, as water will be a scarce resource, as scientists claim in the near future. This will conclude this presentation. Thank you for tuning in.